And could Blizzard be lying to you about what they were really thinking? Yes, they could. Will you know for sure, like 100% sure that they were lying to you? No, we won't. So there was a lot of really good feedback in regards to the hotfix that just went live for Mop Remix in regards to giving us more bronze. If you guys didn't catch that video, it's right here. It's pretty exciting. I was really excited. But a lot of you guys weren't really thrilled. And it's really clear in the comments. And that's okay. It's really good to see both sides. People who are like, yes, and people who are like, oh, who really cares? So we're going to take a look at what needs to be fixed still in Mop Remix, because I don't feel like the war is done yet. If you want to say that there's been a war, it's just kind of fun to think that we're kind of combating the whole thing of like, Blizzard, listen to us. We'll tell you what is going to make this game good. But before that happens, I do want to share something with you guys that I'm really, really excited about, because I've been looking for something like this for a very long time. So let's just jump over to Jim Quaylin and hear what he has to say. Thanks, Quaylin. All right, so guys, I'm really, really excited to introduce you guys to my new sponsor, which is INTOTHEAM. They're a clothing brand, and I know there's a lot of clothing brands out there, but I'm telling you, these guys are legit. They sent me 2 of their shirts and their graphic tees, and here's the first one. This is really, really cool. Okay, let me just get my stuff all situated here. So this is one of the shirts they sent me. They deal with a lot of graphic tees on their website. Now, if you don't mind me doing a little modeling posing here to kind of show you what the shirt looks like. But basically, the great thing is about these shirts is they're not some random generic Fruit of the Loom shirt or Gildan, if you guys have ever seen those with the tags, that people just buy and then they print whatever graphic tee they want on the front and they call it a day. Those shirts suck. These shirts are actually really, really good. They're made with 60% cotton and 40% polyester, so they have a little bit of a stretch to them, which is really nice. They're thinner, so they're not super thick, so you're not gonna burn up on them. And before I go on, let's check out this other shirt. Hold on one second. Okay. So I really, really like this one because it has like this Cthulhu theme going here with the astronaut in the middle. I just really think it's cool. But for me, as someone who likes to work out a lot, and getting these in 2XL, they're super comfortable because they fit where I want them to fit, and they hide what I want them to hide. I know a lot of guys are looking for something like that. So like, I think I have a lot of like more broad shoulders up here, and I want this area to kind of be shown off, but I want the midriff to kind of be hidden. So it hangs loosely over down here, but it kind of details like my chest and my shoulders, and I love that about this company. The great thing is, and this is the huge thing, they're affordable. They have sales on their website all the time, and sometimes you can get them for like 16 to 20 bucks. That's a smoking deal. When I'm seeing other companies selling shirts for like 30 to 35 bucks for a shirt, come on, we need to eat too, right? So if you're looking for affordable shirts that are super comfortable, trust me, these are the shirts to go to. And if you go on their website and you put in my name, Quaylin, at checkout, you'll get 10% off your order. I plan on picking up a couple more shirts. I love this company and I love the products that they're making. So go ahead and check out INTOTHEAM by hitting the link down below, and make sure to use promo code Quaylin at the end to get 10% off your order. All right, so having said that, let's go ahead and get back to the World of Warcraft content. Okay, so now we're back. Let's talk about what happened yesterday. If you guys don't know, there was a hotfix that's going to give us 100% more bronze, making the whole experience go a little bit faster. So what I want to do is go over some of the comments, because a lot of you guys suggested some things that still need to be fixed, and I agree with that. There's also some negative stuff, but that's where a lot of the, hey, we need to fix this is said pretty out loud. So whether these comments are positive or negative, I mean, the positive ones are like, yes, this is great, end of story. And then the negative ones are really where people are saying, hey, this actually needs to be fixed still, or that needs to be fixed and whatnot. And then there's the ones where they're just blatantly calling out, like me, the content creator, and we're just not going to water that weed. So we're just going to look at comments that are related to yesterday's video and see what people have to say about that. So here's one. I noticed this last night when I logged into play. Unfortunately, this comes at a time when I already have all the vendor mounts and I have all but one toy, most of the toys I had prior to Remix. And I think that's unfortunate that, people were like, oh, we're not going to get any kind of catch-up mechanic or anything like that, so I'm just gonna slave away and get as much bronze as I can and get all the stuff, and that's the end of the story. But if we look at it on a good side, those people, they're already done, and they can go play Season 4. They're free, if you will. But also, they have the opportunity to make other characters if they want to make alts, and they can power level them And also they can gear them out if they want to have a little bit more fun. So I think there's pros and cons to it. This one's great. I think the whole thing is dumb. WoW is trash. The only thing I'm looking forward to is Legion Classic. But yeah, Legion is WoW, and you said WoW is trash, so I'm kind of confused there. What changed? The bronze to upgrade gear is so high for a limited event. Well, it's about the same runtime as a season, right? So it came out a little bit after Season 4 started, but it's roughly the same time. And you had to get new gear in Season 4, so it's really not that bad to just get gear in Mop Remix and upgrade it. I'm fully upgraded. I'm at item level 476, and it didn't take me too long. I mean, it was a grind, but that was before the bronze change. So if it took me roughly, maybe a week to get to 476 at the rate that bronze was, and now it's increased by 100%, it's really not going to take that long. So really, there's no reason why everyone shouldn't be item level 476. It's really, really easy to get to now. Here's a really, really good one that I do agree with this one a lot. Honestly, I think I would have preferred discounted upgrades for alts. That's huge, and I've wanted this ever since the beginning. I don't mind the grind to get one character up to max item level if it means all my characters can be just as powerful. Well said. I couldn't have said it any better myself. But even with increased bronze drops, if I want to play alts, I'll still need to farm bronze for several days or like a week in order to get them to max item level. Maxwell Arnold 6631, you nailed it on the spot. That is one thing I don't like. I feel like I accomplished unlocking those item tiers with my gear, and I don't feel like I need to go and unlock them again. I've spent the bronze to unlock the initial price that it costs to unlock those tiers, and when you do that, the cost to upgrade them again to that tier level is drastically diminished. So why are they not drastically diminished for our alts? This needs to be fixed. It's repetitive. Nobody wants to pay 4,500 per item. I know that the bracers and some other items are less. It's like 3,000 something, but the big items like the chest piece are 4,500 bronze to upgrade every single tier. And there's no reason why we should be doing that. That is something that needs to be fixed. If they don't fix it, they need to fix it in the next remix. It's not fair to us. Glad I farmed everything before the buff. Thanks, Blizz. Great timing. Yeah, you committed, and I commend you on committing for that. That's great. But you're free. You can go do anything else you want to do. You got everything you wanted. Here's something that's pretty interesting. This is kind of a little cheat, if you will. This spool change, so you get increased power to your threads that go onto your cloak now. This spool change makes it easier to build up your starter twink for carrying alts. So I'm thinking he means you do a starter account and you build up your character to level 20 and you get the cloak really powerful, and then you use that to have your alt follow that alt, and you run around and, you know, get power leveled pretty quick. I could be wrong, I'm not too sure, but Sherry Kits, if you're watching this, like, I'm gonna actually reply to you and be like, can you go into this more and explain this a little bit more? I'm curious. This one's great. Meh. Like, this person just doesn't care. Here's one. This is awesome. Now can they fix the campaign? I think I know what you're talking about because I have like 2 things on the main like storyline that aren't completed. I've done every quest, every dungeon and raid and every difficulty, and still Kirin Tor Offensive and Siege of Orgrimmar campaigns are incomplete for me. I have no campaign quests from either of them. When using an add-on to check what I'm missing, it's the intro quest to Isle of Thunder, which is impossible considering you need to do it to even reach the Isle of Thunder. Not sure what I'm missing for Siege of Orgrimmar. Yeah, if that's a bug or a problem, they need to fix that. Because a lot of us want to feel that completion. We want to have everything done in the game. And I think there's nothing wrong with that. If that's not your goal, that's okay that that's not your goal. But for a lot of us, we want to say, yeah, we got the full experience of Mop Remix, and it was fun. Now we only lack a button for characters that want to get out of Remix earlier. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think they've already set that in motion that, you know, when this is done, everything will transfer over. They don't want to mess with that. This one's a really good comment. It's too little, too late. It was a great concept, but too many restrictions for something that should have been fun and silly. Yeah, I feel like and I'm wondering, what is it that causes this idea of like when they develop something, they go, this would be a really good idea, and then they test it and see it fall apart? Or when they release it and watch the players go, wait, this isn't good. I'm wondering where the point is where they don't see that like some things are just too slow, or we're not getting enough bronze, or the gear is too expensive. Like, do they make it and then they just send it off and have us test it, and they kind of, you know, hot fix it depending on how we're feeling? Because it could have started off like this. It could have been much more fun and silly, and I'm wondering why didn't it? I just don't feel it's enough. So you want more bronze? That's okay. I feel like it's enough. You got to have a little bit of a grind to kind of feel like you achieve something. Maybe you're saying this because you don't have a lot of time to play, and that's very, very understandable. I personally think the thread change should have only been applied to people not labeled as a frog farmer. I don't really agree with this one because the frog farming, they got hit already with their cloaks, and maxed out people are pretty much where they were before they got hit. So I think everything's kind of evened out by now. People who didn't frog farm are now at max gear. So I feel like the slate has been cleaned, and having the thread percentage go out to everybody is perfectly fine. I've already got all the mounts. There is nothing else I need from Remix. Grinding for bronze isn't fun. If they enable PvP, it would be fun. I don't know how PvP would work in this. I think people would just be flopping over left and right. It would just be really silly. This one's really funny because I feel like this is something we talked about earlier, which I'm pretty sure we did. Wait till it's almost too late. Do a minor change. Everyone thinks it's a huge win. Never change, Blizz. Never change. This is really the classic release a broken game and sell the solution. I'm just excited because it's something. But Crazy Kelsey's right. You know, it's this classic Blizzard. You know, we're going to release a broken game or something that people are probably going to get really pissed off about. And then we're going to work on the solution and we're going to release it as a hotfix, or we're going to sell the solution and say, hey, here's the magic you've been looking for. And yeah, when you look at it that way, it's pretty sad. And it's like, yeah, they did it again. But if you look at it more of an optimistic way, it's better than nothing. The fact they added gear upgrading from bronze in the first place was just unfun and dumb. I feel like we could have had another currency. That would have been, I think, a little bit more interesting. Maybe, maybe not. I'd have to test it out to see if that would be fun, to grind out two different currencies by doing two different things. Or maybe not even have a currency. Maybe have just another way of focusing on upgrading your gear, but not using the same currency that you use to buy your cosmetics and your mounts and everything, but have a completely different system for upgrading gear. That way you're doing two things at the same time and you're progressing in two different paths, instead of going, okay, I've got this currency, what do I want to spend it on? Do I want to spend it on gear or do I want to spend it on cosmetics? Crap, because I want to do both, but I can only do one. I'm gonna have to go back and get more bronze to do the other path later on. I like that comment, even though it's negative, yes, but that's where we're getting a lot of these ideas of, hey, you need to fix this in the future. Here's a good one. With this update, if you were to max out a character and get all the cosmetics, it's going to take around 18 days to do it. And the event is going to last for 65 more days. What will you do with the rest of the time? That's why we have other forms of WoW. Season 4 is going on. I can't wait to get back and start doing Mythic Plus runs. If you want to get into Season of Discovery, I think Phase 4 beta just dropped, so that's coming here pretty soon. If you love Kata, I didn't really love it, but if you love Kata, Kata Classic dropped, and that's going on. I also heard that a bunch of people got together. I think there's a server called Deviant something. I'll have to take a look, but what they did is a bunch of people went over to that server. It was a dead server, and everyone just made brand new characters. So it's basically a brand new, fresh, classic server. So there are plenty of WoW things to do, you know? Or you can do what this guy's saying, just blast through everything screaming, I have the power, with an evil laugh. And I do love doing that. I love running into raids and just being one of the top DPS. It feels really good. Make easy more easy, please. Yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a fun, like, 3-month event that, of course, let's just have a lot of fun with it. There's no challenge in Mop Remix. So making the easy more easy is it's okay. It's perfectly fine. Now, would I want a challenge in a future Remix event? Yes, absolutely. Give me a Mythic Plus scenario where things just get harder and harder as my cloak gets more powerful. And then the rewards get bigger and bigger and bigger as I play more and go higher. That would be a lot of fun. Dang, should have saved all my caches. Yeah, I should have too. I actually saved the ones that I had, and when I was at the theater doing my show and I was playing World of Warcraft in the dressing room, I saw the icon switch over, and that's why I posted, hey, it's live, go for it. And I opened up all my caches, and they had all converted. So I'm glad I did. I think they planned to do it all along. Remix was supposed to last until around War Within pre-patch. If they left things as they are, people would just stop trying at a certain point. As August gets closer, we'll see more hot fixes like this, I'd wager. Valid point. Very valid point. The post for the hot fix does sound like, hey, we've been listening to you and we've tried this and that. And could Blizzard be lying to you about what they were really thinking? Yes, they could. Will you know for sure, like 100% sure that they were lying to you? No, we won't. So they could have said, hey, we looked at, lowering the cost of gear, but there was, problems with the whole infrastructure of Dragonflight and whatnot. thinking that those words would kind of like shut us up about dropping the price of gear upgrades. But even before they had the post before this that said, we're not going to drop the gear upgrades, this is how it is, and kind of like gave us this expectation like, this is what you got, enjoy it. Maybe that was their plan all along, to make us think that there wasn't going to be like a catch-up mechanic or a hotfix for a catch-up mechanic, so that when they did release the hotfix or this catch-up mechanic, it would feel more exciting. Here's a really good comment. This is something that needs to be fixed as well. It is still not alt friendly. Why I can't send gems to my alt, but can trade with others? Yeah, absolutely. Why can't I send gems that I've already completed to my alts? If one of the aspects of Mop Remix was to create alts to get ready for the next expansion, because we want to be more alt friendly, then it would be nice to have a precursor of promoting this alt friendliness, to have it be alt friendly in the first place, like the event of Mop Remix. So if I have a ton of gems on my main, why can't I transfer the gems that I'm never going to use, like leech gems on my evoker? Why can't I send that over to my demon hunter? But now what I have to do is I have to go to my friend, trade the gems over to him, log onto my demon hunter, and then go to my friend and get the gems from my friend. That doesn't make any sense. If I can do it one way, then make it easy for me to do it the easiest way possible, which is just sending them to my alt. That's a small little thing, but it's actually a big deal. Here's an interesting one. Personally, I think they should increase the dropped gear item level by 1 stage each week. Yeah, I can get on board with that. I don't like seeing all the gear that drops. I think it drops at like 346 or something like that. It's in the mid 300s once you get to level 70, and every single piece of gear, if you want to get it up to the top level of like tier 34, you have to pay the bronze to just go ahead and upgrade it completely. But it would be nice every single week the item level just goes higher from the dropped gear, so that you're not just blasting wasted bronze on gear if you find a piece that you want to swap out. I like that a lot. Still too grindy. The back piece isn't where your power is coming from, it's fluff. At a certain point in the beginning of Mop Remix, it is fluff, because yes, a lot of your power is coming from your gear as you upgrade it. But when you get to endgame and everyone has the same item level, the person who's doing the most damage is the person with the big old cloak on their back. I saw this guy in my raid. I think he was a warlock, but I had to check out his cloak. I have never seen a cloak more powerful than this. So if you're having a little fun competition and you're looking at details and see who's doing the most damage, your cloak isn't fluff. Whoever has the biggest cloak on their back is going to be doing the most damage. And then that turns into the idea of, can you solo these heroic raids? Which is just a fun thing to do. So yes, I agree with this to an extent, but when it gets to endgame, your cloak is all you have to upgrade, and it does make a difference. If you're having friendly competition for DPS or you're trying to solo content. If you're not, then yes, the cloak is fluff, and who cares? And I'll end with this one. Nice, great changes. I hope they do more remixes in the future, and I hope they add in a way to retire a character from Remix to take him back to normal content when you're done on the remix with that character. I think it goes back to the comment up above where the guy says, now we just need a button to transfer him over to retail. I agree and don't agree with that. I think just enjoy the event for what it is, have fun with it, be overpowered, and just go kick some butt. And if we have a little bit of patience, we'll get our characters over to retail and everything will be fine. But yeah, I can see both sides on this one. So here's the question that we always lead up to in these videos. What other changes do you want to see made to Mop Remix, or any remix feature in the future? Please leave your comments down below. I feel like we're just at the start of making a kind of a movement to let Blizzard know what we would like to see as players of World of Warcraft. I read every single comment. There might be a time where I'm not going to be able to reply to every single one, so I like to make videos like this and we can talk about what you guys are talking about. But I really, really appreciate you guys interacting with these videos and telling me what you guys think about the whole experience. I think WoD or Legion Remix would be a ton of fun. So this is the part of the video where everyone just kind of dips out because it's the end. But I will say this, if you guys do enjoy this kind of content where we get to talk about what we're thinking about with the game, then make sure to like this video, as it does hit the algorithm and gets other people to see it. And also make sure to subscribe to the channel. It does help me out over here. And if you really, really, really like this content and want to support the work that I'm doing, then check out the membership options. We only have one, which is Matthew. He was one of my very first members when I started doing the lore content. Your donations do go to help, put food on the table and help me stay home and make this content so that I can work from home and do my freelance editing work that I do for the content creators and whatnot. Also, if you guys want to talk more on a day-to-day basis, then check out my Discord channel and link down below. I did open up a World of Warcraft channel in there so we can talk about anything you want regarding World of Warcraft. And I I'm also on Twitch to stream all my workouts in my home gym here Monday through Friday. And when I have some more time permitted, I am doing some more gaming streams, and I'm actually having a lot of fun with those. So I can't wait to hear you guys' feedback on what you would like to see added to Remix or still fixed. And with that, I'll catch you guys next time in Azeroth. Take care.